Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of GCC's Georgia Chiro Connection. I'm your host, Dr. Kathy, and today
Hello.
I'm being joined by one of our board members from South Georgia, Dr. Chris Walker. How are you? You doing okay today? Oh, Dr. Chris, don't tell me we lost your audio again.
I'm not here anymore.
Uh-oh. Oh, I'm going to talk for you. Okay. You can't hear or see. All right. So, Dr. Chris, log out. Don't say that. Hang on. I'm going to tell you to log out and log back in. Okay. So we lost Dr. Chris for a second. Hang on. We're still here. We're just going to get Dr. Chris back in because we are going to talk about the upcoming event that we have next weekend, August 27th in South Georgia, as well as we're going to talk about our upcoming golf tournament. And we're going to do a little bit of a wrap up of some of the awesome heavy hitting big speakers at a DE this past weekend that just knocked it out of the park. And it was kind of that thing where, all right, you back in?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. It works this time.
I love that we just do this on the fly, and it is what it is. And for those of you that are watching and laughing, you should hear what we do before we get on. We laugh too. So, all right. So I said we got a couple good things to talk about. We're going to talk about our upcoming event in South Georgia. We're going to talk about our golf tournament. We're going to talk about DE. So let's just jump right into our upcoming event next weekend.
So we've got our 11th annual continuing CE in Augusta, Georgia. It'll be the 27th and 28th. We're going to get all 20 hours in 2 days. So 8 to 8 on Saturday and then 8 to 6 on Sunday. And, of course, there'll be enough time to have a nice lunch. And on Saturday night, we are going to be breaking bread at a local restaurant. If you're in town and people want to come join us. Really great steaks and lamb and probably the best risotto you'll ever have.
Wait, I think I'm going to have to drive down for that.
And we've got a really good lineup this time.
So tell us, who do you have speaking?
Okay, so we're going to start the session off with Jose Barnes-Jones, who's going to give us education on radiology and how to and clinical management. And that'll be from 8 to 12. Then we've got lunch. And then Vince Campbell's coming in and doing pediatrics. And it's a cranial adjusting with a vitalistic approach. I've actually seen him do it at a different seminar, not here in Augusta. And I got some really cool, great tidbits out of it. The last time I saw him, because our goal when we do our CE, right, is to make sure it's stuff that you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wasting your 20 hours to check a box. That maybe you'll get some nuggets that you could actually use on Monday to help serve some patients.
Love it.
And then we'll be finishing up with philosophy. I will start us off, so I apologize to everybody. Then we have Dr. Tara. I'm going to probably kill her name, Lesquay, who's out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. And then we got Dr. Dan, too, our president of the GCC, who's driving down. And I was at DE last weekend, and Dan spoke on Saturday. And I will tell you, if anybody comes in and misses it, if he comes with the fire he came in at DE, it's going to be an absolutely awesome talk. Then on Sunday, we have Mr. Lee Frazier, who's going to teach us how to be HIPAA compliant and cybersecurity. We all know that, getting hacked and all that stuff right now is a real thing and happening more and more often. So he's going to show us how to protect ourselves and not only how to protect yourself, but what we need to do to protect ourselves business-wise in case, something bad happens.
Because it does. It happens.
It does happen. Yeah, you went through that a couple years ago, didn't you? That's what I remember. I remember hearing that horror story.
24 computers in 4 minutes. Yep, and my server, security system, everything. 4 minutes. Lost it all.
That's all it takes.
Oh, that was horrible. Oh my God, that was hard. What an ordeal. So yeah, to learn how to be better protected, to not have to go through that. We lost everything that had been scanned in, every picture, every Word document, every X-ray, every nerve scan, every EOB, anything billed to an insurance, gone in 4 minutes, all encrypted.
That's devastating.
Devastating for the practice, for both offices. Also for both offices at the time. Yeah.
Also, both offices were in the
same. So the way I had everything set up, I had both offices and my home computer all running through the server at the office so that I could access whatever I needed, wherever I was. And it came into adjusting room 2, went to the server, went out to all 24 computers. So I lost a computer at the house, both offices, server, security system, everything.
Well, Lee's going to show us how not to do that.
How not to do that, because I will tell you that was a huge, costly time, money, energy, effort, stat. Like, oh my goodness, did that crush? Huge. So don't let that happen to you. Listen to what Lee has to say.
Okay. And then we've got Georgia Laws, which will be Dan 2 again before he heads back to Atlanta. And then after that, we have Jen Dickinson with Chiro Solutions. And I can definitely tell you that I've dealt with Jen. We have Chiro Solutions in our office. They do our macros. And if nobody's ever really looked at their stuff, I'm glad that I was turned on to it because it allows me to really put my head on the pillow at night and sleep. Because their macros and all the not even that, it's their compliance to make sure you're kind of bulletproof, that you're doing all the things and you may think you're doing them, but you might not be doing it in a way where you're documenting it the right way. And they really make it where it's like super simple. Nice. So I'm excited about that.
And you know what? That's a big thing. Being able to know that you're serving your patients to the best of your ability and you're doing things right so that you don't have to constantly be looking over your shoulder. I mean, that's the peace of mind that comes from that is tremendous.
And the way that they got it designed, not only do they give you the peace of mind, so if you're a high volume practice, they also worked in how they do it with their efficiency so it doesn't slow you down. And actually, in reality, once we got it all streamlined and full paperless, it actually speeded up our processes. And my girls were very upset for like maybe 6 weeks. But after that, they were like, why didn't we do this like 3 years ago?
You know what? It's interesting because we went through a similar thing years ago. I tripled the practice in a matter of 3 months. You know, we went to an April DE, came back, doubled the practice, doubled it again. And my staff looked at me and said, you either get us on a software or we quit. We were using some outdated Metasoft program. We were using paper files.
I've been down that road. That's not fun.
Yeah. And our Metasoft was so outdated that they couldn't even convert the stuff to the new software. So ChiroTouch had to like create a program just to move our patient files over. But it was that kind of thing where the staff said to us, we want to switch over to something. They did the research. They decided, helped us decide what software they wanted to switch to. And the training portion of it was time consuming, but what a difference it made in the long run. So I know a lot of times when you think about implementing something new or training somebody new in your office, the thought of spending time that you don't have to teach somebody or learn something new, you're like, I just don't have the time to do that. And I was that person for years and years and years. I handled the billing for years and years and years because the thought of training someone else who was going to make a mistake, do it wrong, and then I'd have to oversee it and do it again anyway, it just kept getting put on the back burner. And I will tell you, about 12 years ago, when we did switch and go to ChiroTouch, I refused to learn how to do the billing on that software because I didn't want to be involved with it anymore. And I said, nope, I'm turning it over. If we're learning a new system, they're going to learn it. I'm not going to learn it. Because one of the things that happens, I think we get so busy that we think we don't have time to train somebody else and it's faster if I just do it. But the reality is, yes, it is faster if you just do it, but then you're stuck continuing to do it.
You're totally moving yourself, stopping your practice from moving forward.
Right. You become the capacity block at that point. Yeah,
exactly.
And as soon as it's hard sometimes to delegate. And I will speak from a woman's perspective, being the person to wear all the hats all the time and constantly having to shift them. You'd never get a break, right? I don't get to drop my kids off with someone. I don't get someone else to do their laundry or go grocery shopping, right? I never had that. So I always had to switch hats. So the thought of adding one more thing, training someone to do something, was like, there was no time to do it. But the reality is, as soon as I freed myself up, from doing that, capacity increased. The ability to spend more time either in the practice or out of the practice doing what I wanted to do, all of a sudden it showed up. So
Yeah.
if there's things that are happening in your practice or in your life that are just consuming time and they don't bring you joy, and you can't figure out how to delegate them to somebody else, it's time to just delegate. You don't have to figure it out. You just have to hand it over.
Oh, most definitely. It's the one thing I've learned over the last couple of years, that if it doesn't, either I do two things in my office. I educate and I adjust. And we have brought in everybody else throughout the office to take care of everything. You know, my buddies back home always say, you have a guy for everything. And I'm like, well, if it doesn't allow me to serve more people, you know, because at the beginning when you have, you know, when you're starting out, you don't have a lot of money, but you got a lot of time. So we take all this stuff, right? And we learn how to do everything. But then hopefully as we grow and get more successful, well, time is really, really valuable. So then we start got to spend more money so you can have that time back. So you can still serve the masses, but still have balance.
Still have balance, still have time for family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, if it doesn't make you a better parent, if it doesn't grow your practice, there's things that you don't need to be doing. I don't change the oil in my truck. I never have, never will. Right. There's things that you just don't do if they're going to take away from your ability to live your life to the fullest or serve your patients to the best of your ability.
Totally agree.
Love it. Love it. Let's talk a little bit about our golf tournament, because I know that, you know, you got to work hard, play hard, have a good time. We got a golf tournament coming up in less than a month.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I do not have that date for that on front of me.
Yeah, I do. It is September 15th. I'm pretty sure that's a Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
There we go. It's Thursday, September 15th. It's at Bridge Mill. Phenomenal course. Beautiful, beautiful clubhouse. Beautiful course. Right here in Canton, Georgia. It's just off 575. It's only 15 minutes north of Life. Everybody knows where that is. So it's a beautiful course. Unbelievable golf tournament. Like, this is an all-inclusive, like everything's included. You get the golf cart, you get the cigar bar, the Bloody Mary bar. There's drink carts on the course that are included, breakfast, lunch, awards. There's lots of raffles, there's prizes, there's giveaways. You know what we need? We just need you to register. Register at chirocup.com.
And come out and have some fun.
Yeah, come out, have a great time. You know what? Every year we have a great turnout. We get a bunch of people that come in from out of state to do the golf tournament with us. We get a bunch of local players that, you know, get really competitive with each other and just have fun. I'm always at that little putting green area. I don't golf, so forgive me for using the wrong words, but I'm always at that little putting green area where you got to get the ball in the hole thing. And they give away something. If you win, you're the closest to the pin. That's all I know.
No, it should be a really good time, and it's for a great cause too.
It is.
Can't forget that.
It's for two great causes.
What we got? Immunity research, opioid addiction.
Yes.
And then there's a third one.
So I know that a good portion of that is it's going to chiropractic research, immunity research, health freedom, opioid prevention. So that's where the money is going that we raise at this. So even if you can't participate and you just want to send a donation, reach out to us at chirocup.com or georgiachiropractic.org. Drop a message in our Facebook page. Just drop a message below if you just want to.
You can always just have your office sponsor a hole. I think it's like $150 just to sponsor a hole.
Nice. Or if you have a connection with a business that might have, multiple locations around the state and they want to do some kind of donation, we would gladly take the donation because we can use those as part of the raffle prizes as well. So let's say you have a connection with, I don't know, Applebee's or TGI Fridays or something that's, a chain, and you can get some great donations from them. We would greatly appreciate that because it just helps us to raise more money so that we can bring more awareness to chiropractic and, so the public can be aware of chiropractic's role in helping with opioid addiction and helping prevent opioid usage in the first place and, immune system. So good stuff. All right, let's talk a bit about DE because I know that it started off Thursday night with Darcy doing the breaths. And I will tell you, I was sitting with Brian and Rachel and we all kind of had the same response. Like that felt like Dr. Sid was there doing the breaths with us.
I didn't get into Thursday night, so I'm going to have to listen to that. To Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
So we were on vacation the week before, so I couldn't, can't bang close. So I came in
Balance.
Friday afternoon after
Yep.
serving in the morning.
Yeah, it was great. Darcy did a phenomenal job. Everybody was just like, wow, it was so cohesive. It was so in tune with what people needed right at that moment. And then the next day, our president, Dan, too.
Yes,
On
he rocked
fire.
it out.
On
Just rocked it
fire.
out. Absolutely rocked it out. And I'm excited that everybody here locally is going to get to hear him. Everybody, these is just, oh, and by the way, let's give a shout out that most people forget. You can join the GCC for $60 a month, and that will include all of your continuing ed unlimited for the year, which most people don't realize.
Like that. So instead of having to pay for each seminar that you want to go to, if there's a seminar coming up and you want to just get a couple hours because you wanted to hear somebody that's speaking, you can always just attend that portion if you wanted to, if you are a GCC member at the $60 a month rate. Listen, that's like 1 or 2 adjustments for most of us, right? So it makes sense. Just put your money where your mouth is, join. BJ said we owe it to our profession to give back and be a part of an organization like this. This organization was started by Dr. Sid. So, for me, that's a big thing for me because Dr. Sid was so instrumental in my life, in my children's life, in my practice, and of course, in the profession. So to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to be part of GCC, give back to where you get to build your life from.
Totally agree. I am so thankful the times that I got to know Sid, and I got to, because he was part of the fraternity, I got to know him on a sometimes more intimate level than some people got to.
I can imagine.
And it was really cool. And I would have to say, unfortunately, I think I appreciate now that I'm older more than when I was younger, like we do with everything else in life.
Of course.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have until it's gone.
Huh?
You don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
Agree. And also, I almost want to forget, some people have already said, like I know locally and some people that I've talked to, a reminder that even if you've done your hours, you can come join us for the philosophy portion. That is open to everybody.
Yes.
And then we're going out for fellowship afterwards because, we're trying to build our chiropractic community needs to get stronger. And we're not all, we're not competition to each other. There's still, the last study is we're only serving 8 to 10% of the population. So we got 90 that we still have to educate and adjust. So there's still a lot of souls for us all to save.
Absolutely. So I love that idea. If you're local or you're close enough that you can just go down and join the philosophy portion, go out to dinner, break bread, have a good conversation. Sometimes just being around other chiropractors, it brings you up such an amazing level, and it gives you such a fire in your belly to go back and serve your practice more and better on Monday morning that me personally, I love being around chiropractors because the energy that I get from them and the love and the support that everybody shares for each other is just so extraordinary that I couldn't imagine not spending time with people that think the way that we think and live the way that we live.
Totally agree. I'll give you a perfect example. So my wife, we have a new girl that started in our office. And so my wife was in the office the other day. She was working. And she goes to the new girl, by the way, we just want to prepare you. So Doc's going to DE this weekend. So he's going to come back. He's always here. He's going to be even more here. And be prepared that he's probably going to change some stuff. And it's probably going to get worse again. Because now he's got a whole bunch of chiros coming into town 2 weeks later right here in town. So just be prepared. And then she was funny because she was like, what is DE? And she goes, he's going to get dipped in love for the weekend. Yeah. And he's going to come back with his heart bursting and wanting to spread it around.
Yep.
So
that's a great way to describe it because I will tell you, I had the opportunity to have Alessia, my daughter, she's 12 years old. So she was able to come after school on Friday and she was there all the Friday night and just everybody loving up on her and just making her feel big and important. That's what it is, and I don't get to come all weekend, every weekend, because I'm usually teaching at Life on the same weekends as DE. That's the catch-22 for me. But the moments that I'm there are always so amazing, so powerful, so uplifting, so cleansing, right? Like you get to shed your husks and just get back to what really matters. So I love it. It's just like a love fest. It's a perfect
It totally
word.
is.
Yeah. And then you get to travel with chiropractors and have a good time too. So
That's always good.
that's
Make a
always
little
good. Well,
I listened to
fantastic.
a very late Saturday night.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, getting us all excited about Augusta coming up August 27th to 28th at the Sheraton Augusta Hotel. That's a new location, not the one that we were at last year, the year before. Don't forget, we've got the Chiro Cup golf tournament coming up September 15th, as well as the Atlanta United game. That's coming up pretty quickly. I've got a concert that night, so I won't be able to join. But then we've got Savannah. We have DE coming back again in October, and we've got our convention in December right here in the Atlanta Marietta area. So a lot of good things coming up for you. We invite you to be a part of it. Come join us, hang out, network, socialize, just fellowship, just be together with chiropractors. The more we come together, the stronger we become as a profession and the stronger you become in your community.
100% agree. I can't wait to see everybody next week. And if anybody has questions, please reach out and go to our website to register. And we hope to see you there.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks so much for taking the time. Check out our website, georgiachiropractic.org. We'll see everybody next Wednesday around this same time. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Take care, Kathy.
Thanks, Chris.